Good evening, everybody. It is Monday, January 16th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Thanks for being here with us, man. Shout out to my guy, MLK. Forever repping the dream, baby. Rest in peace, rest in paradise. Thanks for tuning in for another installment of 10 Minutes with Teo. I believe this is episode number 4. So thanks for being here with me once again. It's your host, Young Mo, Mateo Almost, whatever you want to call me, whatever floats your boat. And before I get into the topic of the evening, the discussion of the evening, and I continue to unpack the year 2022 and just my crazy life, man, and my losses and all of that, I want to keep it light, talk about what's been going on these last few weeks. Just got back from Little Rock, Arkansas. We was on the road for a cool 4 or 5 days wrestling. We were in Austin, Texas, wrestling at the Flow Wrestling headquarters. We dueled Princeton there, and then we went to Little Rock, Arkansas. I had a duel there. We went 2-0 on the road, which was awesome. That was cool. That was fun. Great experience. Getting better, pushing ourselves to the limit, and just doing what we love. Prior to that, we had a duel against Oklahoma State at home, and that was awesome. We had 7,000 fans, broke a record. Big stage. The stage was Risen Stage, so that was awesome. And I got a big win in front of my home crowd in Gill Coliseum. So I'm proud of that. I'm happy. I'm grateful for all the fans who came out and showed love and all the people who have supported on social media and everything. So thank you. I want to continue to unpack the year 2022 in this episode. And, I'm going to go into some deep topics deep story of my life. And that's the loss of my father, Mario Olmos. Rest in peace. Passed away November 4th, 2022. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I want to say. 10 minutes is not enough time to talk about all the emotions, all the, the whole story, everything that's transpired through this loss and through what has happened in my life. But I'm going to try to give you bits and pieces as best as I can in a concise way and just tell you my experience with everything that's gone on. And so I'll say, starting off, that, in my last episode, I talked about how I was going through a lot just in the last year. And, my family was everybody was going through a lot. My dad was also going through a lot of things, and my mom, my sisters, and things have just been changing and, kind of just, coming at us. I feel one after the other, me especially. And so my dad was also going through a lot of things. He has struggled in the past with insomnia and, other mental health issues like depression, severe depression. And so during this time, we were really in a dark place, but we were in it together. And it seemed, he had a lot of positive light and, just wisdom coming out of, his struggles. And he was just really there for me and helping me out a lot. He came to Oregon here to visit me and be with me and just do some healing treatments on me. He was an acupuncturist, so he did some treatments on me in late September at the beginning, like in the preseason. And so he just came and it was great. It was good to see him. But little did I know that would be the last time I would ever see him. And so I'll go on to tell you guys the story of kind of how I found out and what happened. So it was the first duel of the season. We were going to Lehigh, Pennsylvania, and we had made it out there. As I was traveling to Lehigh, like on the van towards the airport here in Portland and stuff, I was talking to my dad and he was kind of telling me some struggles he was going through and some things that was happening at the time. And so I was talking to him about that, and he asked if he could call me. I couldn't talk at the time. I was on the van, so I told him I would call him later, and I never got to call him. But I told him I'd call him later, and he was just telling me about this stuff. But he was talking about future dates, future plans of his, moving forward within the next few weeks. And so I was just praying, okay, God, let's get to those dates and like move forward from there and figure things out, one day at a time. And I figured, he'll be fine. He'll be pushing through. He had been pushing through with me for so long. And so I was in Lehigh, Pennsylvania. I get there, we're training, we're getting settled in. It's the night before the duel, and my coaches that have been stressing about my weight, getting my weight down and stuff. It's the first real weight cut, and so that night we had a hard practice. I got my weight down. I weigh in on the scale after the practice, and I was down to weight. I was super excited. I was talking smack. I was giving my giving my teammates high fives, handshakes, slapping hands. And so I was super excited. I grab my sweaty clothes. I make my way back to the van. We're all going to leave and go back to the hotel and get some rest. And I'm sitting in the van with my teammates, happy, giddy, and smiling. And Devin Turner, one of my best friends, my brother, he comes and tells me, hey, like, get in the other van with the coaches. And I'm like, what's going on? He sounded kind of serious. I was like, I'm already in this van. I'm fine. He goes, no, come and get in this van with the coaches. So I was confused. I go, okay. I get out. I walk around the corner to the other van. I see my coaches standing outside. They look serious. And I'm thinking, I must be in trouble. I must have done something wrong. So I immediately tell my coach, I go, am I in trouble? He goes, no, just get in the van. I get in the van. They close the door. And that's when my mom calls me. And she calls me and she's in a panic. She's crying and she's like, Mateo, your dad has passed away. And that moment right there, indescribable moment, to say the least. I just broke down immediately. And it's just like an unbelievable feeling. Honestly, it's sadness, anger, it's confusion. It's like I don't even know. It's like getting stabbed like in the heart, like immediately right there. Like I just kept saying no, 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 no. I go outside, I'm pacing back and forth. I think I ended up losing the call with my mom. I kept trying to call her back. She wasn't answering. I didn't know what to do. Um and so, we end up making our way back to the hotel after that first episode. And my coaches are really emotional talking to me. I had never seen them like this. And they're saying like, we can get you home in the next, morning on a flight ASAP, and I'm telling myself, I was, already down to weight. I just been doing all this hard work. And I was telling myself, no, I'm going to wrestle. I'm going to wrestle. I'm going to wrestle. I talked to my teammates, told them I'm going to wrestle. We had a moment there as a team. And so I thought I was going to wrestle, but the next day I decided, it's best to take care of myself and my family right now. Like I didn't sleep at all. It was just indescribable. Like I said, like I can't even put into words the feeling. I ended up taking a flight home from Philadelphia straight back to San Diego, crying in the airport nonstop, crying on the plane nonstop. I just couldn't believe that I lost my dad. Still can't believe it. And for those of you who know, unfortunately, my dad committed suicide. And, mental illness is real. It's a real illness, the same way cancer is, the same way diabetes, AIDS, anything like that can take you out. Mental illness is real and it really can deteriorate you. And it's so sad. There's many things I wish, I could say to him. I wish I could help. I wish I could have. And I thought, I was, and I probably was, but there's just some things that you know you cannot control an individual, every second of the day, or their thoughts, and it's so sad that this happens so often, and especially amongst men, because I know I felt like that, and my dad was there for me. And who knows, how long my dad was fighting. I know he's been fighting for a long time, but I'm just saying, like, even in his mind, when we didn't even know, when he was smiling, when he was happy. And my dad was my best friend. He was my coach. He was my teacher. He was my mentor. He was my adventure buddy. We played music together. He was an amazing dad. He was the best dad anyone could ever ask for. He always took care of us, and he was just such a happy, joyous guy. He was a teacher, and he just, yeah, it's very sad that he's not with us anymore. But that's just one piece of the story, of how I lost my father. That's the story of how I found out. I ended up having to go home. I'm there with my sisters and my mom, and my family starts pouring in, and everybody, and I'm just trying to stay strong for them, and you know these overwhelming feelings that I'm experiencing, that I'm still experiencing, and just breaking down. Just, I don't know, it kind of just, it's like peeling an onion. It's just like the layers keep coming off, and like you experience it in so many different ways. But yeah, that was the first part of what happened. I'm coming up on almost 11 minutes. I want to stay 10 minutes. So thanks for tuning in with me, guys. We'll come back for another part of this story, and all. So thank you.